So here we are at the next episode. I've gone ahead and beat Pegasus, Joey, Bandit Keith, and Mai 10 times each. First of all, after beating each of them 7 times, we unlocked Ghouls, which is number 29 for some reason. They look like the rare hunters from the Battle City arc of the show. So I'm guessing this is like a pseudo midpoint boss of the game. But I went ahead and beat them 10 times each because last time beating the tier 2s 10 times each unlocked booster packs. So I went ahead and did that, and it did unlock 4 more booster packs for us to pull through. And because of these, because of the packs that I pulled while beating these guys 10 times each, the deck has changed quite a bit. So let's go ahead and check it out real quick. So our top end is still the 1 copy of Jinzo. We've got 2 Dark Elves, which is our best beater at 2000 health. Well, highest attack beater at 2000 attack. It does require 1000 in order to attack with it. Vorse Raider right below that at 19, and then we got the 1800s underneath that, and then 1700s underneath that. For utility monsters, we've got a Witch of the Black Forest that can search out essentially anything that we have in the deck. Sangan that can search out 1 of 2 cards. Penguin Soldier and Magician of Faith. Magician of Faith is really good because once you look at our spell card lineup, we have a lot of one-offs. Like, a lot of one-offs. Horn of the Unicorn, not really great. It gives us 800 attack and defense, but it does go to the top of our deck once it gets destroyed. So it does kind of brick our draws, but 800 is pretty decent. 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster to remove the opponent's back row. Pot of Greed lets us draw 2 cards. Change of Hearts lets us steal a monster for a turn. Heavy Storm destroys both players' back row, but hopefully we'll only ever use this when either A, we have nothing to lose, or B, like what we lose isn't as much as what our opponent loses. Upstart Goblin gives our opponent 1000 health and lets us draw 1 card. Delinquent Duo rips 2 cards off of the opponent's hand for 1000 health. Forceful Sentry lets us look at our opponent's hand and just choose 1 to put back into the deck. Amazing card. 2 copies of Nobleman of Crossout. A lot of times, our opponent just can't break through our beat sticks, so they'll just set a card and pass turn. Nobleman of Crossout I feel like is a little bit better than Tribute to the Doomed, because Tribute to the Doomed requires a card to discard, and we don't always get the Sinister Serpent, which we cut from the deck. So 2 of this I feel like is going to be better. 2 Noblemen of Extermination. I have gotten rid of Mystical Space Typhoon in order for 2 copies of this. Yes, Mystical Space Typhoon can pop face-up cards, but Nobleman of Extermination not only pops 1 face-down card, but it also removes all copies of it from the opponent's deck, and I feel like that's a bit better of a trade-off, especially when the cards that we're most scared of are either Battle Tricks that our opponent can't activate, or something like a Torrential Tribute. 1 copy of Premature Burial, pay 800, get a card back from the graveyard. 1 copy of United We Stand, which buffs our beaters. Same thing with Mage Power. As for the trap cards, we've only running 6 of them just because we do have Jinzo and Royal Decree, which prevents all trap cards, so we are running a spell heavy deck. Soul and Judgment just lets you negate anything. Royal Decree again stops all trap cards from activating, including ours. Mirror Force is one of the battle tricks that we're scared of fighting. Yes, Extermination does rip the card off from our deck, but our opponent having 1 on the field ready to activate is a lot more threatening than 1 that's in our deck that, you know, we haven't even drawn into yet. We barely have any searches or draw spells in the deck anyway, so removing our Mirror Force for removing our opponent's live Mirror Force is a good enough trade. We've also got an Imperial Order. Yes, we do run a spell heavy deck, but we can always just not pay the 700. As long as this card negates 1 spell from our opponent, it has served its purpose. 1 Color Haunted to let us recycle some of our monsters. and Torrential Tribute for a board wipe if we're ever in a position where we have nothing on the field and our opponent has a full board. So that's the deck. We are running 42, which is a lot more than what most people will run, but I couldn't figure out of like what 2 cards to cut just because there's so many just good cards in the deck. I don't really want to cut any of the vanilla beaters just because we do need an X amount of them in the deck in order to draw them consistently. Worst case scenario, we just draw 5 spell cards, and hopefully one of them is like a pot of greed that lets us draw into our beaters, but that's the deck looking at right now. So let's go ahead and fight a ghoul, see what ends up here. Rare Hunter, very generic name. From the split second that I saw, I think this is the guy who Yugi had to face that was just stalling for time to get Exodia, which is not great. Darkfire Soldier is our only option here. Let's look at their hands, see what we can rip from it. They have 2 copies of Graceful Charity and a Pot of Greed. Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to defeat cheaters here? We could rip the Mystic Tomato, it's their only monster, but like they could easily just draw into one. Pot of Greed is just pure advantage. At least with Graceful Charity, yes, they draw 3, but they discard 2. So they basically just break even. We do have Imperial Order. I should have checked our hand a little bit more clearly. Imperial Order would have just stopped all of their cards. The best play would have to put away either Trap Hole or Tomato. Kind of regret doing that now, but what can you do? No, we have Extermination. The best play was to get rid of Tomato. In hindsight. They're gonna frame one like Graceful Charity, aren't they? Okay, so we know that the face down card is more than likely Trap Hole. There's the second one. I do like how the opponent just starts wasting cards. The AI just doesn't check the field for anything. We know that's the Tomato. Their draw for turn was the Upstart Goblin. I should keep paying for this. There's no reason not to. We do have Nobleman Extermination to play, but we're not summoning anything right now. In fact, we're just setting Magician of Faith. I'm guessing they're going to try to thin out their deck and grab another copy of Mystic Tomato here. Oh, they just went ahead and summoned Exodia piece. Okay. I don't know what they plan to do with that. Maybe they're running the backup squad. The one that lets them choose like 3 normal monsters from the graveyard with 15 or less attack added to the hand. We do have Darkfire Soldier. They run lots of spells. I would love to keep this up during the entire game, but we also need to win. I'm gonna go ahead and say no, just so we can exterminate the back row. Maybe they're running multiple copies of Trap Hole, and we'll just get rid of that right now. It does also thin out their deck, which means they're more than likely... Okay, they did have 3 copies of Trap Hole. So their deck is a lot thinner. In the anime, they did run multiple copies of Exodia, which is illegal. So, a part of me thinks that they are also running multiple copies of Exodia. We could Forceful Sentry what they have in their hand. Leave them with nothing. It's more than likely an Exodia piece anyway. But we're not really in a position where we can get decked out. Maybe I'll save this. Like, 300 to the face isn't gonna matter all that much either. I'll save the Forceful Sentry once they have, like, a bigger hand, maybe 3. 3 cards in hand or something. I kind of feel naked now that that Imperial Order's gone, but that could be another Mystic Tomato. We don't have lethal, but it will be very close. Again, I don't think 300 matters. It's a Sangan. So this more than likely will let them grab a Exodia piece. So they now have 2. They're gonna have 3 cards next turn. Do they also run like multiple copies of Sangan? That would be so annoying. I think we're fine for now. Even if they pot agreed, that would only put them at 4 cards. So not enough to get Exodia'd. Another face down. I think this is when we're gonna Forceful Sentry. Or just win. I don't know if we can win if that is another Mystic Tomato. Just for insurance sake, I'm gonna go ahead and flip Magician of Faith here. Forceful Sentry one of their cards back into their deck. And then hopefully what we have on the board is enough to clear. Right leg and right arm, it doesn't matter which. I don't think they run high defense monsters. But let's go with Dark Elf just to be safe. Penguin Soldier's annoying. Penguin Soldier is very annoying. So there goes 2 of our attackers. I guess we'll have to wait until next turn in order to win. We already summoned the Dark Elf to this turn, so it's not like we could summon one back. Graceful Charity just lets them dig through their deck. Nothing? Horn of the Unicorn. Alright. Well, we have lethal on board. No need to delay this. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Although this is the second person that's running an Exodia deck. So these are the 4 packs that we unlocked after beating the tier 3 characters. We've got Zombira the Dark Ruler Hades, Yamato Dragon, I want to say, and Guardian Sphinx. Guardian Sphinx was actually my boss monster back when I was playing like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! I had the Pac-Man deck, which was like Cyber Jar, Morphing Jar, Man-Eater Bug, Book of Moons to reset them, Swarm of Scarabs, Swarm of Locusts, Guardian Sphinx. It was a pretty fun deck to play at the time. Everybody just hated me. We are running a beater deck, so I kind of want to do Hades. Hades is one of those cards that's like, it has Jinzo stats, so it can easily be beaten over by a Cybertech Alligator and Summon Skull, but the flip side is that it has the effect where cards destroyed by it does not trigger. So things like Sangan, Witch of the Black Forest, recruiters like Mother Grizzly, Giant Rat, just die. So it's a pretty good utility card. We could use it like as a second boss monster. Zombira the Dark is also a pretty decent card. It has 2100, so it can never attack directly, but it can beat over pretty much anything, even our Dark Elf. So I'm thinking between these two. Yamada the Dragon makes me think Yatagarasu is in this deck, or is in this booster pack, as well as like the rest of the Spirit cards, and Yata is pretty funny. So I don't really know. We might as well start with Hades, I guess. See what we get out of here. Noah is terrible. Root Kaiser is 18 beater but a level 5. This is just a really bad vanilla. Reinforcements. If we had like a warrior tribal deck, this would be really good. I might have to look at the collection to see if this is good to use. Well, not good, but like viable with the warriors that we have. As long as this card remains face up on the field, each time a monster card is sent from the field to the graveyard, it will cause its owner 500 points of direct damage. That's a lot of words to say when a monster is sent from field to the graveyard, inflict 500 points. I mean, it's nice. Chip damage is funny, but I don't think that's going in the deck. That didn't even count as a win for some reason. Okay. Arcana! Arcana is the Dark Magician wannabe. I don't think this guy actually cheated against Yugi. He just kept bad-mouthing Little D's funny. He just kept bad-mouthing how, like, the Pharaoh is the worst Dark Magician player in the world while he was the best or something. The 2 back row is kind of scary. Little D, what was the attack? 1100? We're gonna Delinquent Duo, like this was always gonna be used. Dark Magician, and I've never seen this card in my life. It's an 1100 beater. So we're back to like less than level 4 and in and around 1000 beaters, which is a little disappointing. The back row is really scaring me. Let's go ahead and lodge in here, I guess. If they're gonna flip up something, they might as well flip it up sooner or later. Ring of Destruction is gonna hurt, but at least it hurts both players. We can go ahead and set Call It a Haunted, and then if they try to attack, we'll just flip that up and negate it, essentially. Here's the part where we learn they run multiple Ring of Destructions. Oh my god, they do. We do have, Remat? The Dark Magician? Ooh. That's gonna be annoying to deal with. And they're sacking 2 for Serpent Knight. Slightly worse Dark Magician. Okay. Imperial Order is great. So here's the thing. Dark Zebra plus mage power and a face down goes up to 2800, which can beat over this. Problem is we aren't gonna have a monster on the field to keep it in attack position next turn. So yes, we can get rid of this, but we're in a very vulnerable position. It does have 1400 defense, and from the looks of it, the weenies have 1100. So it might not be that bad. It does stay in attack mode during their turn, but on our turn, we won't be able to attack with it. Looks like they bricked, which is nice for us. Heavy Storm adds 500 more attack to Dark Zebra. We can set Magician of Faith here. Setting Heavy Storm puts this at 1900 defense, which isn't the worst. We might as well do that. Who knows what kind of monsters they have. Like, they might draw into Vorse Raider or Gemini Elf. Okay, it doesn't look like they have anything. A Jinzo is great. Would have been great, like, turn 1. Double Ring of Destruction is annoying. I'm just looking through, like... Because I'm assuming we were going to face these guys head-on after this. So, it's good to know what kind of deck they're running. Or who knows, it might just group all of them up into this. Just because they weren't that noteworthy in the anime. And then they give us the bigger characters later. 1450 on a level 5 sucks. Pot the Trick. Okay. Root Kaiser is another level 5 18 beater. Stone Ghost. Luster Dragon. Wait, this isn't Luster Dragon. Luster Dragon is a 1900 beater, isn't it? Or maybe I'm misremembering. Either way, a lot of vanillas, which is terrible. Yeah, so we're technically at 2 wins against this person. This Odeon. Was Odeon ever a rare hunter? I don't think so. I know he worked for Merrick, but... Well, secretly worked for Merrick was actually, under a Shizu. I don't remember him ever being a rare hunter. Then again, it's been like ages. Let's go ahead and Delinquent Duo here. Get some card advantage. See what they have in the deck. Would kill for a Nobleman of Extermination. Getting rid of Raigeki is great. As well as the Summon Skull, because I'm pretty sure like one of those 2 back rows will stop us from attacking with a Lajin. We take less damage if we summon Lajin. Assuming it's like a Ring of Destruction or a Magical Cylinder. Torrential also gets rid of their cards, so that's good. It was an effect monster. Late Warrior would have been annoying to attack over. Let's set Solemn in case something crazy happens. Call of the Haunted can stop their attack if they do have something. Just like last time. Another face down card. Could be another Slate Warrior. Although it'd be weird not to attack with it. Another Dark Elf. We're still a lot on health, so Dark Elf isn't the worst. Widespread Ruin isn't good enough to Judgment. Especially since Dark Elf is the only other card in our hand. We need our life points right now. Spear Dragon is annoying, but we can easily take care of Spear Dragon. Fortunately, Dark Elf does have 100 more attack than it. Problem is, we're going to be paying 2,000 on our turn just to attack with both of our Dark Elves. Unless we can top deck something bigger here. Nobleman of Extermination would have been better turn 1. I could set Magician of Faith and Delinquent Duo them again, but they're at 1 card. This is a very tax-heavy game for us. I'm tempted to attack Spear Dragon first, just in case the face down is like a 4-star Ladybug of Doom or something. Morphing Jar. Morphing Jar isn't the worst. We do lose the Nobleman of Extermination, which is annoying. Royal Decree stops trap cards. This is actually pretty decent hand. Proceed to main phase 2. We're gonna set Royal Decree. Three face downs and a monster reborn. Summons Cull is gonna be annoying to deal with. I think it's worth judgmenting this. Unfortunately, we no longer have the health to, let's go ahead and trigger this now before they can trigger any of their trap cards. We no longer have the health to attack with Dark Elf. Upstart Goblin, we're already at a deficit. We could go ballsy here and just equip all 3 of these to a La Jin, pay 1,000 to destroy their face down with Dark Elf. Maybe try to OTK. I haven't done the math. I don't even know if this is enough for an OTK. Ring of Destruction isn't going to work. Royal Decree is up. It's 200 more if we put it on the Dark Elf. But then on subsequent turns, we're not going to be able to pay for it. It's better on the La Jin. I don't think the 200 attack will matter. $62. This is 7,000. If only we had 1,000 more. This is also gonna lock up our back row, so we can't even like activate a Pot of Greed if we draw into it. We could upstart, because we know we're not going to get lethal. Mage power is 500, I believe. Yes. So we could upstart, give him 1,000 health, maybe draw into something. I don't know what would help us here though. We can upstart next turn if we don't draw into one of our beaters, I guess. Maneater Bug is annoying. There goes our Lajin. And every card we invested into it. Oh, that was terrible. We have two monsters we can't attack with or else we lose. Or we just can't attack with it, period. Darkfire Soldier is something at least. I still don't want to pop the upstart. Torrential is nothing. It's a good thing Royal Decree doesn't require like life points, unlike Imperial Order. We could Hornet a Unicorn here. We do have Upstart Goblin to bail us out if it does get destroyed. It could be another Maneater. It could also be a 2000 wall. It does let us attack with the Dark Elves, which is funny. We could take ourselves out. It's another Maneater. Where's our Crossout? Crossout would be great. They're top decking just like us, which is really annoying. Another trap card. There's Hornet the Unicorn. Harpy's Brother is nice. At least we're clear to attack. There weren't a whole lot of quick play spells back in the day. This could be like a Book of Moon though. Magic Cylinder would have ended us if Royal Decree wasn't out. They finally got another monster, which is, what, the third Maneater Bug? Imperial Order, worthless now. Royal Decree isn't going anywhere. Might as well attack it. Yep, third Maneater. So we're going to be drawing into Hornet of the Unicorn next turn. One of the reasons why maybe I should cut that. But it is we are running a beater deck. Just high attack monsters, so having equipped spells to make those high attacks even higher is just like good strategy, I guess. Works well with the deck. There's not a whole lot we can do. At least they didn't draw into a monster. I'm assuming that card in their hand is like a summoned skull. Harpy's Feather Duster, pointless. I hate staring games like this. Another trap card for them. Darkfire Soldier is great. Do we add the 800 attack? They're done with Maneaters. Magic Thorn. What is that? You can inflict 500 points of damage per card to your opponent's life points when your opponent's cards are discarded to the graveyard by the effects of a spell, trap, or effect monster card. So if we discard a card by his effect, so it doesn't matter if we discard down to size, this will not trigger. It has to be one of his effects, which is something. At the very least, it'll never trigger because Imperial Order is on the field. Mirror Force doesn't trigger. They're finally at half health. We've been sitting at 1,000 forever. Maybe I should put some life gain into this. Or, you know, finally cut the Dark Elves. They're so useful though. Nobleman a cross out, too late. Too little, too late. Without Imperial Order, this deck that we're facing would have been complete wash. They would have already ended us like 10 ways to Sunday. I wonder what they're bricked up on though. We're just gonna put this in for safety. So what's left in terms of ghouls or rare hunters? There's Strings who had the Slifer deck, and then there was Lord of Dragon Soul. I've never seen that card. This is a level 6 1900 beater, which is terrible. This card can only be used to equip by a warrior type monster to increase its attack by 700. Any dragon type monster battling a monster equipped with this card is automatically destroyed at the end of the battle phase, regardless of attack and defense. So it's like, it'll turn any warrior type into Buster Blader, essentially. It's not bad. I wasn't expecting warrior support in this pack, because it's Hot S in the front. I was thinking like Fiend, maybe Dark. But yeah, Strings was a rare hunter, speaking of which, and so was, there were those mask guys, the ones that, Yugi and Kaiba had to face. Humanoid Slime would have been better in defense position, but what do I know? Is it just slime cards then? I would be hesitant to expect a Slifer this early in the game, although we are at the midway point, I think. When researching how to unlock characters, we don't really have much of a choice here. It's either 18 or 17. We're gonna Delinquent Duo. When researching how to unlock characters, I did notice that there is only 6 tiers. Let's see what we got here. 6 tiers of opponents. So we're unlocking number 5 now. Dark Hole and Winged Guardian. Dark Hole would have been annoying. Let's go for the damage. I believe it was 6 tiers of opponents. And we're unlocking number 4 now. So having like a midway boss would have been great. It also leads me to suspect that there's a final boss in the form of... okay, well that's gonna be annoying. In the form of like the Pharaoh. Summon spell. We need an equip card to get over this. Because right now we do not have it. Maybe a Mirror Force. Change of Hearts is nice, but it's not gonna get us anywhere. Change of Hearts into a Jinzo would be great. We could cross out that. Hope that it's an effect monster and banish the rest of them. Worst case scenario, like, Dark Elf isn't enough. Worst case scenario, they tribute over this and we have a second summon skull to deal with. Best case scenario, this is like a man-eater bug and we just got rid of 3 of them. No, it's one of the weenie beaters. This is another reason why I really don't want to take off Horn of the Unicorn. 3 copies in our deck means we have like a 1 in 10 chance of opening with or drawing into a equipped spell. We also have Mirror Force, we've got Torrential Tribute. There are cards that we can draw here that can get us out. Magician of Faith is not one of them. We could Delinquent Duo again, but that's not going to get us anywhere. A part of me wants to, like, normal summon La Jin, beat over the face down, unless it's another slime. But I really don't want them getting a second summon skull out. Or worse, like a Blue Eyes. Or worse, well, Slifer wouldn't be so bad. It would be at, like, 2000 attack, and we could crash over it with Dark Elf. But we would have to deal with its effect, which is the annoying part. We would take, what, 700 if I normal attack into that? If not more. If it's a 2000 wall. I'm gonna go for it. How many cards left in deck? We've got Torrential, we've got Mirror Force. And we have 3 equipped spells. So 5? 5 out of 33. Less than 1 in 6. It is another weenie. They're sacking it for another summon skull, which is interesting to say the least. That's just -1 in card advantage. Although this does confirm that destroying the face down so they don't get another summon skull was the right play. If they can tribute summon for a 3rd summon skull and we can judgment, that would be amazing. Maybe them summoning another summon skull wouldn't have been so bad because I could have changed of hearts and crashed into it. I don't know. So far we haven't seen him do anything. Oh, a Vorse Raider, that's gonna be terrible. We're gonna be taking 25 to the face here. They're doing beaters better than us. At least this gets them down to top decking, I guess. We need something here. Anything. That's not anything. We could pay 1,000 to get rid of Vorse Raider, but then we take 500. We could also just change of hearts their summon skull and attack their Vorse Raider with it. And then maybe go directly with Dark Elf. Or like set Dark Elf to be attacked. We were always gonna do this. A Dark Hole, which they would have never activated because they're winning. And a Winged Guardian. Yeah, we're gonna set Darkfire Soldier here. Change of Hearts their Summon Skull. And then just attack over their Vorse Raider. Hopefully they won't draw into a monster that can beat over our Darkfire Soldier. Would have been great to also draw Jinzo. It would have been... Our outs was 7 out of 33, which still isn't a lot. Oh, that is the best thing they could have done. We're already at low health. Sacking half of 2100 is really nothing. Nobleman of Extermination might be useful. We don't know what kind of back row they have. We're just putting this out there as a threat. We're not actually going to attack with it unless it's for game. Hopefully, it'll keep their... I'm assuming they're going to have multiple copies of Vorse Raider. It'll keep that in, like, defense position. Because of, like, how the AI in this game works. Maybe, hopefully. Also, they have 2 copies of Dark Hole. I just realized this. All of these guys are, like, cheating. Hold up here. Hold up. Oh, maybe it was the, other guy. Our last game. I think this is game 19. That's 39. Okay. We win. Thanks to the computer AI's programming, Tribute summoning a Summon Skull for a... It was like an 1800 vanilla monster tamer. We have somehow clutched a win. So Strings is just like vanilla monster beatdown, which is a little weird. I don't know if that's a good strategy this far into the game. Then again, we were on the back foot for most of that. Heal of the Ancients. At the cost of 1,000 of your own life points, flip all of your opponent's face-down cards face up. After seeing the cards, return them to their original positions. Oh, I don't think that's worth 1,000. Especially if they go back down to face down. Like, cool, you know that they have a Mirror Force. None of these are great. They're all tribute summons. Skell Angel. Draw a card. It's alright. I don't think it's a card to put in the deck. I believe this is the last one. Umbra and Luma, I believe I saw. I don't know, it went by too fast. But this is the Mass Beast people. Well, not just Mass Beast, it was like Mask of Weakness, Mask of Restrict, Mask of Brutality. Pot of Greed is always a good play. We could Pot of Greed now, Harpy's brother. And then set Magician of Faith the next turn just so we can Pot of Greed again. I'm a little hesitant to pop Mage Power right away. Just because I know they have like Mask of Dispel that'll just stop it from working, as well as Mask of... There's a mask that stops monsters from attacking. I kind of want to bait one of those out first before committing to some equipped spells. Then again, they might not have it in their deck. We faced a lot of characters that aren't really using... Raigeki's annoying. That aren't really using the deck that they were meant to have. Grand Tiki Elder is a 15 beater. We can easily attack over that. Question is, do we run... Call the Haunted is nice. Do we run the Lajin? I think we go with the 1700 for now. Hopefully they also don't run like a Vorse Raider or anything higher. If they do, we could always just lodge in with Premature Burial next turn and then equip Mage Power. Speaking of Premature Burial. So does everybody run Summon Skull now? Like, I feel like this was a Yugi card, but now everybody in this game just has it. Like, everybody just has a Summon Skull. I guess using the Call It Haunted now. Wait. Huh? That sequence didn't make any sense to me. How did you die? You're not supposed to die. Also, my card is still on the field. I just lost 500 damage because of that. I don't even know how I lost 500 damage because of that. Why game bugged? We could go for a lot of damage here. Summon La Jin, set the Nobleman, equip Mage Power to Harpy's brother. I think we go for the damage. I mean, it still beats Summon Skull, but I don't know. It's the principle, I guess. If that 500 damage mattered, I'm gonna be incredibly unhappy. Monster Reborn to summon Skull back. Do they have equip spells? No, it's in defense mode. Mask of Brutality is an equip spell. Their tribute setting? Did they tribute set for another summon Skull? We could change of hearts here. Change of hearts wins the game. I want to know what they tribute set is. It's probably another summon Skull. Or like a different level 5 beater. It's a summon Skull. So, we didn't see a whole lot of their deck, but, like, Strings and, the masked people here have pretty much the same strategy of just vanilla beaters. Octoclops? Octoclops is a level 4 1800 beater. I have never seen this card in my life. 1700 defense is actually pretty good too. And it mentions, wait, one-eyed giant that serves the Dark Ruler Hades. During your turn, you can reduce the attack of one monster by half. Add that amount to the attack of another monster on the field. That's not bad because we are playing a beatdown deck. If we could get a few more copies of this, it only works once. But, I mean, the one time is all you need, really. It's not bad. It's a removal tool, at the very least, but Octoclops for 18 makes me want to pull from this deck even more, from this booster pack even more. We've unlocked Merrick? Wait. How do we go from... I'm so confused. We now have Merrick Ishtar, which is a 5-star character. We still have this. And, it doesn't look like anything else has changed. So, I guess we're just gonna skip over 4 stars, or all the 4 stars is locked behind Ghouls. And maybe we have to beat them 10 times in order to unlock them fully? Or something? I have no idea. I'll have to look into this again. Also, just 1 5-star, where are the rest? That's it for the video. Yeah, that's it for the video. I'll see you in the next one.